Well, I want to talk to you today about how to get a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank with a bad or a fair credit. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as splendid as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about how to get approved for a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank with bad or fair credit. And here is the skeleton of today's conversation. You can see it on the screen right now. You need to get to know the bank. You got to get organized, establish a relationship. You need to talk to a banker from Regions Bank. You need to choose your card, explore other lending options, and you need to finalize and apply. Now let's get into it right now. First, you need to get to know the bank. The thing here is that Regions Bank is a full-service regional institution. Although regionally based, the bank is a national player with lending operations from coast to coast. So even if you're not based in the South and Midwest, you can still qualify for the bank's services as well as business loans, credit card, and credit line offers. Regions Bank is one of those banks that are just quote unquote quiet, but they have been kicking ass for the last few years. They've been kicking ass like crazy. The bank is well run. They're constantly innovating. They are constantly expanding their balance sheet, their offers, and their clients are really happy about that. And we've done research about this bank. This is one of the banks that has been growing, like they have been growing by leaps and bounds, honestly. So when we talk about a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank, this is one of the banks that you might want to consider, because they offer a constellation of services, not only when it comes to credit card solutions, but also other solutions. For example, they have business solutions. They have a great banking experience. Sometimes they actually have, based on our analysis, we've seen that they have a whole mobile experience that is improving every day. So their app is wonderful. The dashboard online is great. Customers can see a lot of things, especially the business customers. All right. So the bottom line here is that, again, the bank is based they actually cover the South and Midwest, but even if your business is not located in that area, you can still qualify. And this is why you need to actually get personal here. You need to actually contact a banker, and I'll speak about that later on. You have to contact a banker before applying for a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank. Step number 2. So after you got to know the bank, you need to get organized. This is very important, folks. We're talking here about getting a high limit. I'm not asking you to get a small limit here. No, we're talking about getting a high limit EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank. So you need to get organized. First thing first, and this is logic, right? You got to have your EIN, employer identification number. Very simple. Go on the IRS website. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. You just enter your data and get your EIN. And of course, the whole idea here is to get an EIN, but you need to incorporate. Don't remain a sole proprietorship. You're not going to get very far with Regions Bank if you remain a sole proprietorship. You want to incorporate. You want to become either an LLC, an LP, an S Corp, or C Corp. Doesn't matter if you are a single member business. You can still have a single member LLC. Yes. This exists. And think about your business plan. I have spoken at length about business plan, the importance of business plans in other shows, so I'm not really going to get into that here, but you just need to know that the Regions Bank's loan or credit cards representatives, they are going to be interested in your company's business plan, your operational vision, your mission, what kind of products and services you are working on, your catalog of products and services. This is important. Regions banks might ask for a certification of beneficial owners also. This is important. And they also are interested in licenses and permits. They might want to see your articles of incorporation and organization, because the whole idea here is to ascertain, is to verify that your business is legit, your business is complying with the rules and regulations in the industry it is operating in. Okay, so articles of incorporation if you are a corporation, an S corp or C corp, or articles of organization if you are a limited liability company, an LLC. You also want to think about, when it comes to getting organized, you want to set up your accounting. So you can either do it in-house, you can hire someone to take care of bookkeeping and all other ancillary services for you, right? This is kind of cool. But if you don't have the budget for it, or you have just a small operation and you don't have time or the intellect to do accounting, just outsource the whole thing. Yeah, you can outsource the whole thing. There are a lot of companies nationwide that do that. Some companies are even based overseas, and they will handle your accounting for you. Okay, and you can even get the software such as Wave, Zero, or QuickBooks if your operation is very simple, so you can do it yourself. And also think about your financial statements. When we talk about getting organized, I'm talking about making sure your financial statements are well prepared and accurate. Step number 3, folks. If you want to get a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank, you need to establish your relationship. You know, Regions Banks or any other bank is not going to lend to you. They're not going to lend you a massive amount of money if you don't have a relationship with them. This is a two-way thing. It has to be mutually beneficial. Don't just believe for a second you can just sit somewhere in New York and try to get a relationship, a credit card or a loan from a bank in California without having beforehand or firsthand establish a relationship. You got to establish that. So when I speak about establishing a relationship, I'm speaking about opening business checking accounts, business savings accounts, retirement accounts, wealth management, whatever it is. So the goal here is what? The goal here is to let Regions Bank eat a little bit of your money. You want them to, quote unquote, profit a little bit from you, so that in return, they could also let you benefit from their credit, from their lines of credit through a credit card or through a loan. Okay, this is how the game is played. So you gotta get real here, and getting real means that you need to chart a great strategy, a great strategy to get the credit card you need. So open a business checking account or a business savings account, or both. Okay, when it comes to business checking, you have simple checking business, checking advantage business, checking business interest, checking business, checking not for profit. In terms of a business savings, you have a business savings, business premium money market, business CD, business promotional CDs. In terms of retirement, you have wealth management services. You have Regions online banking and mobile banking when it comes to wealth management, 401k, IRA, and so on and so forth. So the whole idea here is to actually establish a relationship with Regions banks before applying for a credit card. Okay, that way they know you, you know them. They have seen your transactional history. You know how they roll, right? So at the right time when you decide to apply for a substantial EIN only business credit card, they will approve you. This is how the game is played. This is how big companies are playing the game. This is how people who, industry insiders are playing the game. And it doesn't matter, your credit score doesn't matter. It does matter to a point, to a certain point, but relationship, as everything else in life, matter more. And when it comes to banking and credit card issuance than anything else, relationships. Speaking about relationships, step number 4, you need to talk to a banker. You need to contact a banker at Regions Bank. You want to talk to a live person. Okay, and this has so many benefits. Not only the ability to talk to someone who you can trust, someone who can explain to you how the game is really played at Regions Bank. Okay, and you want to discuss with the banker a couple of things. Don't just call the banker for, hey, how you doing? I hope everything is fine. Just wanted to catch up with you. No. You got to have a plan. You need to have an agenda. Okay, you want to discuss with the banker your liquidity situation, your company's liquidity situation. So everything from your cash inflows to your cash outflows. And to do that, you need to prepare something called a statement of cash flows. You don't have to do it yourself. If you have no knack for accounting statements, you can actually, if you're using software, you can just download it directly from the software. So by looking at your liquidity situation, which you can see from your statement of cash flow or your balance sheet for that matter, you'll be able to know what you need. This will help you identify your borrowing needs, okay? And this is the kind of stuff you need to talk to the banker. You need to discuss with the banker. That way, the banker will know whether or not your business is doing well, whether there are some seasons that are more profitable than others, whether you need to build your credit at the business level or personal level, if you are ready to expand, and whether or not, among other things, this is not an exhaustive list of I would say hypothesis, but the whole idea here is to have a bird's eye view of your financial situation, of your company's financial situation. For example, can you afford to buy all the equipment you need to run your business? So having that discussion with the banker will answer all those questions for you. You will know, for example, whether your business, based on its location, could qualify for a high limit business credit card from Regions Bank. And you can actually address the thorny question of EIN only. A lot of folks, when we talk about EIN, they're like, oh God, they're thinking, when we say EIN only, they are thinking that on the application form, there is no mention of social security number. In other words, they just want to apply for a credit card or a loan without inputting their social security number. One thing they don't understand is that an EIN only business credit card or loan just means that the issuer or the credit card or the lender is basing their decision on the company's credit worthiness. And those things just don't happen overnight. You got to build it. You got to build your EIN. If you have a lethargic EIN, you ain't going anywhere. You're not going to be approved. If you have a stagnant EIN, you're not getting a high limit credit card. So those things you need to work. And this is the kind of conversation you need to discuss, the kind of stuff you need to talk about when you talk to the banker. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about how to get a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Banks with bad or fair credit. And step number 5, you need to choose your card. Okay, you need to choose the kind of EIN only business credit cards that you need. So Regions has a couple of business credit cards that they actually provide to customers. First, you have the credit card Visa Business. This is a card that comes with no annual fee. And with this card, you can pay for company supplies, get a cash advance, or pay for services. And then you have the credit card Visa Business Enhanced. This card comes with no annual fee and allows your business to earn Regions Relationship Rewards, the triple R, on qualifying purchases. So you can use your card for things like purchases, cash advances, and bill payments. Plus, you have access to Visa Savings Edge, which actually offers automatic savings of up to 15% on eligible purchases with designated merchants. Okay, and then you have the Regions Visa Business Credit Card, another card that comes with no annual fee, right? And then you also have one thing I want to say here is that Regions Bank doesn't have a lot of credit cards. They actually do have a 2 or 3 depending on where you are applying from. But the bottom line here is that either you sign up for the credit card Visa Business or the credit card Visa Business Enhanced, you can still qualify for the constellation of great services that Regions Bank offers. Okay, whether it is now when it comes to APR on those 2 cards, you're looking at 11.49% all the way to 22.49%. But the final rate will depend on your credit worthiness. You might actually qualify for a 0% intro APR on balance transfers for 12 months or 9 months, depending again on your credit worthiness. And there are a couple of fees that you need to be aware of. So you have fees on balance transfers, you have fees on cash advances, you have fees on late payments. Okay, so when you think about choosing your card, you got to think about what kind of industry, what kind of spending pattern you have within your company. What is your goal? Are you trying to earn rewards, or are you trying to earn cash rewards, or you really don't care, right? Do you want a full suite of reporting and expense tracking solutions? So this is the kind of stuff you need to think about. Again, when you speak to a banker at Regions Bank, they'll be able to answer all those questions for you. Step number 6, folks, you want to explore other lending options. So obviously you are interested in getting a credit card from Regions Bank. But what if you don't qualify? What if for some reason, after speaking to the rep, to the banker, you realize that you might actually qualify for something better, for another product, for another service with the Regions Bank? So this is why you need to explore other lending options. Don't close any door. You never know. You just never know. Don't burn bridges, as they say, right? So the whole thing here is that by constantly cultivating a rapport with the banker at Regions Bank, you will be able to know whether or not you can qualify for loans and lines of credit. Okay, so Regions Bank offers loans and lines of credit. So with a business loan, you get the funds in a single lump sum and pay a fixed payment amount each month. This is for a business loan. Now, if you contrast that with the line of credit, what you have is funds may be borrowed, repaid, and borrowed again. This is kind of similar to a credit card if you really think about it. Regions Bank is also active in the SBA loan ecosystem. Okay, and as a preferred SBA lender, they provide a variety of small business financing options that can help your small business expand. They also provide equipment financing and leasing. Okay, so they actually do this two services through subsidiaries, so they don't do them themselves. This is more, I would think, this is based on their business model, right? So if you're looking for equipment financing, you can work through Ascentium Capital, which is a subsidiary of Regions, and they offer streamlined financing for equipment, technology, commercial vehicles, and other business items for transactions between $10,000 and $500,000. And when it comes to leasing, you can also work with another subsidiary of Regions, and this is REFCO, Regions Equipment Financing Corporation, and they offer financing for transactions ranging from $250,000 to $50 million. You heard it right, $50 million. Okay, and Regions Banks also has specific solutions for industries, depending on what they have. Lending solutions for agricultural companies operating in the restaurant and franchise industry, and they also provide financing for McDonald's franchises. So this is again something that's pretty cool to know, because again, even though you are interested in a credit card, a business credit card from Regions Bank, it's good to know what else they have, just in case you might be interested, or just in case you might be in the market for that specific kind of products. So step number 7, folks, you need to finalize and apply. Okay, you want to contact Regions Banks again. You want to get your act together. Very important, right? So meet your banker one last time before you apply for your credit card, and make sure that you apply for the credit card actually at the branch, or at a branch if possible, or at least you can, if you have to do it online, at least talk to your banker first. Okay, you want to double check your business plan. This is very important. This is the time when you have to do all that. You also want to double check your financial statements. You need to ascertain the validity, the truthfulness, the integrity of your financial statements. And Regions Bank, they actually pay attention to not only the top 3 financial statements, balance sheets, income statements, and statement of cash flows, but they also pay attention to a 4th financial statements that is lesser known, and that is the statement of stockholders' equity. If you are a business, there will be the statement of owner's equity. This is important for them to kind of know who is really behind the business, and you want to follow up. Okay, so once you finalize and apply for the credit card, the EIN only credit card, you want to follow up. And if there are questions that were sent to you, you want to respond. So you want to respond to requests for additional evidence as soon as possible. This is very important. Now, in terms of finalizing, Regions Bank, they actually monitor a few things before approving or rejecting your EIN only business credit card application. So they pay attention to your credit score. They pay attention to your annual revenue. Actually, there are no established criteria, no ceiling or threshold for you to meet before being approved. At least we haven't seen that on the internet. And when we reached out to Regions Bank, we didn't get the answer we were looking for. But we would assume that in this industry, the average in the country is about $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Okay, so that sort of comes to about what? It comes to about 120, between 120 and 200, 120 and 180,000 a year. That's like the baseline here. And then from there you can go all the way to 100,000 or $500,000 a month. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff you need to think about. And Regions Bank also wants to see an updated business plan. So whenever you see a business plan, I just want to quickly digress a little bit here. A business plan is not a static, it's not a lethargic and inactive document. It is a living document. You need to constantly or periodically, not constantly, periodically update your business plan. Okay, and because things change, your company is moving, your company is growing, things are happening, and this is why we love software tools such as Enloop, okay, Wise Plan or Live Plan, because they actually allow you to update your business plan. So this is the kind of stuff you need to think about, okay, when it comes to finalizing and applying for an EIN only business credit card with Regions Bank. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was speaking to you about how to get a massive EIN only business credit card from Regions Bank with bad or fair credit. First, here's a recap. So get to know the bank. Number 2, you need to get organized. Number 3, establish a relationship. Number 4, you want to talk to a banker. Number 5, you want to choose your card. Number 6, you want to explore other lending options. Number 7, you want to finalize and apply. Thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate it. I will see you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.